The law that cannot be broken. Stop thinking you can break the law. There is no way that you can possibly break the law. Now, the first thing to your mind is we're not under the law. We don't live by the law. You're talking about the law of Moses. I know we're not under the law of Moses, but I want to talk to you about another law. The law of the spirit of life. The way life works is a law. Christ came in the flesh to show us how this law works. And this law cannot be broken. So you look at things like giving and receiving. There's no way you can break that. So you understand that if I give, I'll receive. If you give, men will give to you. Just like the scripture says. I'm telling you, that's nothing to play with. That's actually law. There's no way you're going to apply that and not get the results that scripture says you'll get. That's law. Anything that you look at in the Bible is law. So look at Psalms chapter 1. It says that when you are a true believer, you will be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bringeth forth your fruit in your season. Your leaf shall not wither. Whatsoever you do shall prosper. Listen to me. That's law. There is no way you can break that law. So when people try to act like, yeah, I'm a true believer, I have faith in God, I have a prayer life, and I just trust God with all my heart, but I'm not being prosperous. Let me tell you what you are. You're a liar and you're deceiving yourself. Because if you were what you say you are, there is no way you wouldn't be prosperous. Because that law cannot be broken. So you look at other scriptures in the word, like healing. How the scripture says the prayer of faith will heal the sick. That's not a joke. That's law. There is no way the prayer of faith will be prayed and the sick not be healed. I know you hear today that, well, yeah, you may or may not be healed. Listen, that's because you may or may not be in faith. But according to that law, which cannot be broken, the prayer of faith heals the sick. So think about that next time you're asking God to do something, or next time you call yourself believing for something. Think about the fact that the law cannot be broken. Look how many people we got trying to be financially blessed, but they don't want to give. You trying to break the law. Look how many people we got living lives full of doubt, but they still think God is going to bless them with certain things. Didn't the scripture say that if you doubt, don't even think you're going to receive anything from the Lord? But you're living a life full of doubt and you think God is going to bless that? You trying to break the law. You're not even faithful to God. You're not faithful to the work of God, but you think you're going to get a reward from God. You trying to break the law. You sitting up here doing everything in your life that you're big and bad enough to do, and you think you can live your life your own way and ignore God and the things of God, but God is still going to bless your life and still going to pour out abundance on you. You trying to break the law. So you're saying, God, I really need this, and this. and you're not believing, you're trying to break the law. Not only are you trying to break the law, but you're taking it to a whole nother level by trying to get on your knees and pray and get God to break the law with you. God won't break the law. Listen, God himself cannot break the law. It really don't make sense to see people that understand the law from a negative aspect, but they don't understand the law from the positive aspect. They understand the truth of the word when it comes to the negative, but they don't understand the truth of the word when it comes to the positive. So yeah, it's a lot of things that certain people won't do. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to hang around them. I'm not going to live like that, because they really believe if they do these things, they'll end up in hell one day. But then these same people that believe the word when it comes to hell, they don't believe the word when it comes to the blessings of God. How is it that you can believe one way, but you can't believe the other way? How is it that you can believe that God will punish you, but you can't believe that God will bless you? When it comes to God blessing you, it's all about that law that cannot be broken. So you say, yeah, God bless me with this, and God bless my family. And if what you're saying is true, the reason you received blessings is because the word was applied to your life. Now, a lot of times, I might as well go on and just make somebody mad with this too. A lot of times, we think God done blessed us, and God has not blessed us. A lot of times, that good thing that happened to you, God didn't do that for you. God did that for your mama, because you wasn't praying and you was not believing. Your mama was praying. Your mama was believing. And God did that for your mama, but you reaped the benefits. It's exactly like when Lazarus died and the people were complaining and crying and just all sad because Lazarus was dead. When Jesus was trying to get them to see that if you would just believe, Lazarus would still be all right. He was trying to get them to see that even death could not stop that law that can't be broken. But if you see, they never did believe. They just kept crying and kept doubting. The same way the scripture says that Christ could not do certain works in that city because of their unbelief. So if he couldn't do it in that city because of unbelief, then he wouldn't have been able to do it for them, raise Lazarus for them because of their unbelief. He raised Lazarus through his own belief. Christ raised Lazarus because Christ wanted Lazarus to be raised. I remember one day something good happened for me. It's been a few years ago. And I was so happy and I was thanking God for doing it. God, you did this for me. And it was God that let me know I didn't do that for you. I did that for your pastor. And a light went off. We always say, God did this, God did that, God did the other. And it's not the case. That was not your blessing. That was somebody else's blessing, and you took credit. And because you were deceived enough to take credit for something that you didn't believe for, it made you think that when you prayed for this other thing, God was going to do it. So you prayed and it didn't happen. It didn't happen because that last thing didn't happen through you either. It happened through a believer. And that's because the law cannot be broken. So even people that's not living by God's design, and people who don't know about God's system, and people who don't live by faith, not even you can break the law. Because when you go out here and do something stupid, law says you're going to receive this right here. And that's exactly what you receive, because the law cannot be broken. So when you go out here and you hang around the wrong people, what does the law say is going to happen by hanging around bad company? It says your good habits will be corrupted. That's law. So there's no way you can tell me you're a believer, you're living by faith, you're trusting God, but you're hanging around a lot of people who hate God. There's no way, because that law cannot be broken. There's no way you can honestly say you're trusting God and you're crying every day about something that you're dealing with, because that law cannot be broken. The scripture says if you trust God and lean not to your own understanding, he will direct your path. So if your path is not being directed, don't tell me you're trusting God, because then you're trying to say that God is breaking the law, and that law can never be broken. No matter what you do, you're not going to break that law. So your life is a picture. Your life is a video of that law that cannot be broken. Your life is proving that law that cannot be broken. So stop trying to break the law.